Hey friends, happy Saturday morning to you. I am playing with some styrofoam this morning. My local store had a big sale on like a dozen eggs for, no, I'm sorry, it's 18 eggs for like 88 cents. And it was like, wow, well, that's great. So I bought a bunch of eggs, and this morning I've been doing things like making deviled eggs and egg salad and all that good stuff. But anyway, I'm always intrigued by the styrofoam that comes off of egg cartons and things like that. I do keep a little stash, a very small stash of egg carton, the tops of them, you know, the tops that are flat, the top flap that fits over the egg thing, you know, this thing, the top flap that fits over this. I keep a small stash of those. I'm not going to keep everything, all of my styrofoam egg cartons, because I buy a lot of eggs and the cartons are recyclable. I feed eggs to my dogs. My dogs love. Actually, they really love deviled eggs, believe it or not. They think that's a big treat. They sit in the kitchen and they watch me do them. Anyway, so I have this styrofoam and I thought, well, I'd like to kind of do something with that today. So I am making styrofoam carved stamps. My friend Bunny makes carved stamps from those small erasers that you can buy in the dollar store, and she just does an exquisite job with them. So I thought, you know, I've got this styrofoam, so I thought I would just kind of experiment around with it today, and these are the stamps that I've created. So I wanted to show you how to do this. This is something that you don't have to go out of the house and buy any special tools or have any special skills or anything like that. The first stamp I did was I had a stencil on my desk, and so I just did a little stencil stamp. And the way you do these, I took a pen and just carved into the styrofoam, you know, and created positive and negative kind of spaces in that. The second one I did, I also used a stencil and put it on top of my styrofoam block and did some circles. This action was done with an X-Acto knife. I just kind of pulled the X-Acto knife, not cut this way, but pulled it this way to create these lines and textures here. The next one, which I thought was super cool, let me wipe that off just a little bit for you, was created by using a seashell. I just took the seashell like this and kind of squashed it into the styrofoam, and it created this wonderful, super cool texture here. So those are the three that I've done so far, and I'm using my raw intuitive journal today with Jennibellie's wonderful, wonderful juicy edging. These are this is the circle stamp, this is the flower, and this is the one that I did using the seashell. So let me take you through this super fast. The first thing that you want to do is to create some small little blocks out of the top of your styrofoam egg carton, and you can use any kind of styrofoam with this. It doesn't have to be an egg carton, of course. The tricky thing is I use some glue. I use my Eileen's tacky glue, and I did that an hour ago, and I'm still getting a little, it's like a sandwich, you know, when you squash it, you get a little bit of peanut butter and jelly on the, you know how when that happens. So when I'm pressing on it, I'm still getting a tiny bit of leaky glue. Now this one's a little bit better, but I did have, you can see right there, I had a little bit of leaky glue. So take the styrofoam, glue it together. I would suggest like letting it sit for at least a couple hours before you start trying to carve into it. I'm just going to use, I'm going to use several things. I'm going to use the pen that I have, and just start just doing some random carving. I think I'll pick up these lines right here. Just make those a little bit straighter. Now you can do it a lot of different ways. So I'm just going to start out with this. I'm not having glue leach up from the bottom, so I guess I did let this one sit long enough, y'all. Next thing I'm going to do is use an X-Acto knife. Now, you don't want to do this with the X-Acto knife. You don't want to cut into it. You want to kind of turn the knife and then just pull. Don't press down too hard or you'll snap your blade. Okay, so I'm going to do that for a couple lines. And you can kind of see how everything is working. And then I think I made a texture tool out of an old gift card. And so I thought I would try, I made a serrated edge right here, so I thought I would try that, you know, experimenting this morning. Okay, so I'm going to pull that through. And then, of course, I am longing for some circles, since circles are my thing. So I'm going to put my stencil right here and just do some circles. And you do have to kind of cut into the styrofoam quite significantly. And I'm happy to report again, I'm not getting any glue leak through the top of this. And this one's probably been sitting for an hour and a half or so. So you just want to kind of watch the glue leak. I think I'm going to press the shell in this side. Okay. All right, now we're ready to ink it up and see what we have. I am using Colorbox Mixed Media inks. This is a mossy, and then I have just the Colorbox, oh, there's the top of it, Colorbox Mixed Media here, black noir. Okay, you got to use a juicy ink pad. Then you have to dry it, because to me, these ink pads don't dry. And that's the frustrating thing about them. They're beautiful ink pads. They make a great impression, but they do not dry. So you either have to use a heat tool or just let them sit for a while. All right, I'm going to ink up my styrofoam carved stamp. There we go. And we'll see what sort of impression we get here. Just do it over this way. I do press down quite significantly. Now, and you're pressing down, so that means that what you carved is going to expand. So don't be upset by that. And this is a super rustic look. It's you know, it's not meant to be perfect stamping. It's meant mostly as texture and interest. Okay, cool. I like that one. I like the way that turned out. Okay, let's do one more impression with it. You'll also discover that they print differently, of course, on different sorts of paper. You can see how kind of tribal that looks. I really do like it. There we go. It's super cool, y'all. I like it. I like it. The most fun I have is with simple around the house stuff. So today we used a pen, we used an X-Acto knife, we used some styrofoam blocks that we made from eggs that we bought this morning, an egg box that we bought this morning, and I'm working in my raw intuitive journal, a seashell that I found that my niece found in Panama City Beach, and some stencils. I don't think it can get any simpler than this, and that's the point I want to make today. Don't complicate your art. Just look around you. You know, you're an intuitive spirit. You know what you're doing. Just give it a go. Give it a whirl. Have some fun. Play with art. Have fun. That's going to be my motto today, y'all. Okay, I'll see you later. Bye.